Okay. Thank you all for being here this evening for the public hearing for the Transportation Alternatives Grant. We will call this meeting to order and proceed immediately to the presentation of proposed location of multi-use path. We need to do roll call.
Yeah, we'll probably
Just to make sure all the bases are covered. Roll call, please.
Mayor Lambert.
Here.
Excuse me. Vice Mayor Sewell.
Here.
Councilmember Cagle.
Here.
Councilmember Hilton. Here. Councilmember Williams. City Manager Miller.
Here.
Interim City Attorney Litchford. City Attorney Litchford.
All right. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The presentation that we're going to give tonight is on the Transportation Improvement Program grant application for the year FY 2018. We are going to be working in collaboration with the Southeast Tennessee Development District. Sam Sage is here to give the presentation of what we're going to try to do. The basics of the program is, right now, you are aware that we do have three programs that we already have in place. Two of them are Transportation Improvement Program grants, and one is a multimodal. And tonight you'll be talking about combining those programs into one. This one is totally separate. We will be doing sidewalks the same way as we would as the other programs, with the exception of now the new TDOT rules of a 12-foot sidewalk for multimodal on the south side and a 5-foot on the north side as we have on the other projects. The multimodal has extended. That's something new that they had started, I believe, in April of this year. But they made, I think they're making an exception for us with these tab grants that we currently have to make it seem smoothly, since there's a multimodal in between the two tabs. So without further ado, I'm going to turn that over to Sam.
All right, thank you everybody. The City of East Ridge is applying for a TDOT Transportation Alternatives. Oh, sure.
Thanks.
Sure. TDOT Transportation Alternatives Program. 20%, and this grant requires a 20% non-federal share, which must be paid for by the City of East Ridge. And also the City of East Ridge is responsible for the hard cash match, including preliminary engineering, design, right-of-way expenditures. So that is on the city. This program can be used for pedestrian and bicycle facilities. There's also other uses for these funds, such as safe routes for non-drivers, conversion of abandoned railway corridors to trails, stormwater mitigation, archaeological activities, historic preservation, just to name a few. But the city has primarily been applying for pedestrian enhancement facilities, and this project represents phase 4 of the city's effort to do that. And we're really excited about making it a safer, East Ridge a safer place for pedestrians and all non-motorized users to be able to safely access sites along Rickle Road and other arterial roads. So, really, the purpose of this involvement is just to solicit any opinions that any of the city officials or citizens have about this proposed project, or just to get their input on this before we formally have to submit the grant on by October 3rd. So, you know, the purpose of this is just to kind of see if there's any opinions or changes or any thoughts that you guys might have about this project specifically.
And then also, Mayor and Council, tonight should be on the agenda for, or unless we've already done it, the approval of the transportation application. And we're done doing it. So that's something that we will be doing. And then, of course, tonight you'll also have the other projects as well. But we're very excited. You know, maybe it's another opportunity for us to combine some other projects down the road and make one end of East Ridge to the other a walkable, bikeable, safe place for citizens. And it'll also make the area look a whole lot nicer as well. So hopefully we'll have businesses that will want to invest in East Ridge again. So We'll turn that back over to you, Mayor, if you'd like to go down the rest of the agenda. Unless, Sam, if you have any.
That's all that I do. We want to get this.
Oh, yeah, and I'll pass the sign-in sheet around for you as well. Also, I don't think Sam mentioned that the grant goes up to $1 million, isn't it?
Actually, there's no maximum.
Oh, there is no maximum.
Yeah, but typically they don't award more than that. That's typically the maximum, but there's actually no official maximum.
Right, so, but we're not trying to go over $1 million with the total project, so we just want you to know, be aware of what funds we're trying to approve. So it's 100% from the NEPA design right-of-way phases, and then 80-20 match for the construction phase.
Okay. Council, are there any comments or questions?
Yes, sir. I understand you say that we're going to 12-foot sidewalks on one side. And in the original ones up there, we've already got in the multi-mill. Are they 10%?
Correct. Yes, sir. The ADA standards changed a couple of years ago. The new ADA standard for transportation standard is called ProWag, and that's what TDOT's going by. Their new TDOT standards. They're requiring us for anything. The old projects are getting grandfathered at under 10, but the new ones going forward, everything has to be 12 feet wide. Right. Just for, in case you have any wheelchair users with bikes and a lot of pedestrians, they want it to be safer for them to pass without any type of problems or anything.
I think that went into effect April this year, did it not?
Yes, sir.
So everything, new projects from April 2017 on have to have 12-foot sidewalks. And they're, in our discussions conference call with TDOT, we were able to get grandfathered in for the 2 or 3 that we're going to talk about tonight to leave that at 10 feet. But this one, henceforth, it's got to go to 12 from now on.
There's going to be a lot of property out for some of those commercial properties out there.
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
That's, you're right. And we've relayed that onto it, but they've said that's the standard and that's what they're going to follow.
How much right of ways on Greenville Road then? I mean,
Well, we do.
We have one right now, which we have a bike path on the south side now. What's that, about 4 or 5 feet?
Actually, it's a lot larger than that, because it used to be the old emergency lanes on both sides.
That's right.
And there is a possibility of maybe possibly shifting the road just slightly, because you do have so much right of way on each side, because the north side only has to be 5 foot. So there is the potential of having the state come back and maybe do a resurfacing project at that time and restripe to give us more room, so that way we're not taking up any right away from a business.
I was thinking you're going to redo, but where the sidewalks are now, the older sidewalks, we should probably some right of way past that. Side, I think.
Possibly, yes, sir. And then of course you have to move the utility poles, and you can't have any light poles, you cannot have any seating fixtures, trees, shrubbery. It has to be just a plain pathway. So if we decided to put any lighting, that would have to go behind the sidewalk path.
They want it to be unencumbered for, especially for wheelchair-bound users that have to travel along with the bicyclists. It's too hard to navigate around, utility poles, telephone poles, things of that nature. So they're really trying to increase the safety, basically, by doing that, keeping it as a clear path the whole way through.
But you could put those things on the north side where it's only a 5-foot path.
Are there any other comments or questions from the council? Okay. Do we have any comments or questions from the public? I see none. So I believe that takes care of everything, and we will. I'm sorry, I didn't finish. information.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
We're passing around the sign-in sheet. I think that takes care of everything, so we will close this public hearing. Thank you all for being here today, and in about 15 minutes, we will begin our agenda work session. Thank you.